Funding for Off 90 is provided in part by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.
Cruising your way on this episode of Off 90. A retired power plant receives new life as an art gallery in Austin. Join a memorial tractor ride in Meyer. See tractors of all kinds, old and new alike. And come with us to Albert Lea to meet Benjamin Franklin and other characters from America's past. It's all just ahead, Off 90. Hi, I'm Barbara Keith. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Off 90. The power of art. An old, rundown power plant in Austin was recently transformed into a unique and popular destination as the site of the city's first ever Artworks Festival. The event featured visual, performing, media, and literary artists with ties to the Austin community who joined together for a two-day celebration of the arts.
I think living in a small town, there's a lot of perception that there's never anything going on and never anything exciting. And I don't know that that's necessarily true, but it's great that, you know, people are able to come and do something and we're able to bring it all together for them. And I think just the uniqueness of it is what's exciting to people as well. It's just something different that they've never seen before.
It's been wonderful here at the Artworks. It's been really wonderful to meet all the artists and also to kind of talk to them about their personal stories and how each individual piece kind of came about as well.
I would describe Artworks as a variety of different artists showing their talent, displaying what they do best, and meeting a bunch of great people.
It is a festival that's celebrating basically the Austin arts. So all of the participants in the festival have some sort of tie to Austin, whether it's an author, a musician, or an artist. They all have some sort of Austin tie. Basically, the objective is to have an event here in Austin to celebrate all of the arts and culture that is happening in Austin. So it's not only to highlight the artists, but also to give something to the community to come and enjoy. It's all free events, and it's something that will bring the community together and kind of gives you something unique to come and enjoy in Austin. We have painters, we have sculptors, we have jewelry makers, metal workers, we have a glass blower, we have graphic designers. There are musicians ranging from country artists to rock artists, as well as just guitarists. The name Artworks comes from the fact that it's in an old utilities building, and then that it's the arts. So we just kind of combined it, but also showing like how the arts can work for a community, because this is also part of the process of like seeing how arts and culture can help Austin to grow and how it can be an economic boost for a community. So it's kind of playing off of both the location and art in general being an economic driver for a community.
Yeah, I thought it was a great thing for Artworks to utilize the power plant because in the years that I've been in the area, I've never been able to see the inside, and I thought it was a great way to repurpose a building and also celebrate the culture and also definitely take more pride in the already established architecture and stuff that's here in the community.
Basically, Eric Anfinson had the idea of kind of putting on an art festival in town, in part to celebrate or showcase the utilities building and the possibilities of what it could happen if we did something with arts and culture in that building. Since the building was decommissioned, there's been an ongoing conversation in Austin as to what should happen with that building. So this is kind of setting the stage of possibilities for future use.
have to realize that putting together this kind of festival in such a short time is such a major undertaking, and what they did in such a time is amazing. Came up this spring, and I know that they were trying to get people in the power plant to see that it can be used as something different. And I think it's important for people to be able to come through, see it used in a different way, a different purpose. And once that was decided on, it came into play very fast. In its inception, the idea of having culture, arts, which arts is an umbrella statement for visual artists, performing artists, musicians, authors, the necessity of that in the community. And so Artworks itself seems to me to be hopefully taking that all into their arms and creating something from them for the town of Austin. The Artworks is supposed to be create a destination. And so if you can create Austin, Minnesota to be a destination for the arts, the ramifications are dramatic throughout the community. I think this is a pretty good example of what happens. The effort that it took to create this many artists from this many different places in the country to come around and hang out in such a way, to present art in such a meaningful way, has been the example itself. The proof is here. I mean, we got a big packed house, and we have people interested, and we have people asking. That right there is success.
We had a lot of fun here today. There was a lot of good artists. We really enjoyed seeing all the variety of art that they had displayed here today, and I think we would definitely come back.
I didn't realize there were so many talented people in Austin. Everybody has beautiful stuff. I mean, I just hope my stuff measures up. I was kind of worried about that. I'm like, is it good enough to be in this? But I feel I'm with other people of the same or higher caliber. My name is Mary Gould, and I do beaded jewelry. I really think this is good for Austin. I hope this keeps growing and becomes a bigger event. I hope it maybe attracts more businesses to relocate to Austin. Hopefully this generates interest and business, and it helps put Austin on the map.
My name is Jimmy Longoria. I'm with Mentoring Peace Through Art, and we are into community art. That's where we bring people together, bring resources together, and put up paintings that celebrate art for everybody. Artworks is an idea that's taking the whole country by storm. In other communities, they already have artwork programs. The idea is to get people to see that art is not just a hobby, that it's really about investment in work. So I think that here is an opportunity for people to see what artists do, and we're very supportive of that. We're bringing the real life experience of painting large for kids that probably never get the opportunity. And it's serious. These are real brushes. This is heavy duty art paint, and they're going at it on real canvas that's constructed. We do this a lot because we want kids to understand that painting isn't something that you just look at. It's something you do and you understand. We feel it creates a tremendous appreciation for the other art, because when a kid knows how difficult it is to paint and make something happen on a wall, they more appreciate the work that other artists have done.
Overall, everyone has been really happy with how it's turned out, and I've been really happy with the crowd. and hopefully it'll just keep on growing after this.
Antique tractors are preferred, but all tractors are invited. The Meyer Memorial Tractor Ride was put together in 2009 to honor loved ones who have passed away in the past year in the parish of Meyer. It's an event that ties the community together through memories and celebration of rural life.
I think we sort of do it as a tribute to Bill, as a remembrance, the whole family getting together.
It's emotional.
I think family is the most important thing. You know, whatever it is, your family is always there for you. The more that you can do with them, the better.
We were doing a memorial ride. My father-in-law, Ray Koenigs, he had started this the year after his son was killed in a motorcycle accident. So the following year, Ray started this tractor ride. There was a couple other people in the community that had lost close ones too, so they decided to put this together.
I'd like to welcome all of you for coming and bringing your tractors, and we hope you all have a good time. This year, we're remembering those who passed away from last year in our parish community. This is our fourth tractor ride we're having. We started out 4 years ago when we lost 9 members of our parish community here of Sacred Heart. Of those 9, 5 were younger members, 57 on down, so it prompted us to start this, and myself and my wife and 2 other couples that had lost loved ones too. It just happened to be this year they were all veterans, you know, and we put the memory sign up every year with the names and flowers in front, and this year it just happened to be all, the 3 that passed away this last year were all World War II veterans, in fact. Now let's just observe a moment of silence for these people. Well, one of these people that passed away that first year was our son, and he had a lot of interest in these old tractors, and getting together at Christmas time with his brothers and family, we were thinking about it. We never imagined that this would grow to this, and we want to include all the other families that lost loved ones too in this community, and so then we talked to them, and then it kind of mushroom, and it seems to be growing every year.
It's very overwhelming. It's amazing. What happened 4 years ago, it's not been forgotten. You know, we're still a fit community, and everyone is still together.
It goes to show that, I mean, small communities, we're blessed and thankful that we live here, because we know that if something happens, everybody comes together to support one family or a bunch of people. You know, that's what makes it so special to have something like this, because every community around comes and takes part in all of it.
Last year we had 148 tractors, and it's about a 20-mile ride. It takes about 3 hours. We keep the speed down about 10 miles an hour. There's some tractors just barely go 10 miles an hour. Some can go 30, but it's not a race, it's just a ride.
People are along the route that we go, and it's neat to see that their families get together also and, you know, watch the tractors go by and get enjoyment out of it also.
It is fun. It's fun to see the kids get so excited about seeing the tractors, and just, yeah, being around family and friends. And people that you don't see maybe very often will come, you know, so you can see and visit with them. It's a good day. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of people together. It's a big social event. Like-minded people that like tractors and little kids, and it's a good time.
You look good on top of that Oliver there, big guy.
Anybody looks good on an Oliver. This has really grown these last years, where a lot of farmers are restoring their 30, 40, 50-year-old tractors, and it's always nice. It's kind of like a show. You can come and look over what everybody else is doing to their tractors.
I guess Bill's favorite was Oliver. Our favorite was Red Ones, International, McCormick, and I guess we thought we'd get one that he liked.
We thought it was going to be just a one-year deal, but people just keep coming, and they enjoy it, and we enjoy it. I guess it'll live on now.
The word rendezvous means to gather at a chosen meeting place. But it also has a special meaning for a select group of history lovers who strive to bring our past pioneering roots to life. Each year, the Big Island Rendezvous in Albert Lea does just that. And if you happen to stop by, you just might meet some trappers, pioneers, and even Benjamin Franklin.
Tell people ask me, Perry, what do you do for a living? I said, well, I coordinate an event in October in Albert Lea. I bring my friends together for a weekend, and we have a celebration and a party. That's what I do for a living. And everybody laughs, but it's true. The importance of us talking about rendezvous now, and the fact that we celebrate by doing rendezvous and historic festivals, is we really want to keep the knowledge of how we existed generations ago and survived in the woods. We want to keep that to the forefront so people understand what everyone went through previously to what we have today.
You get a history book, and it doesn't tell you about people. It tells you about just certain parts of history. Well, when you come out to a reenactment, you learn more, you see more. I believe children can learn more from a reenactment than they can a history book. And that's what got us going, because we enjoy teaching history.
Fire!
A rendezvous, if you go by a strict definition, rendezvous is a French word. It means they get together. And rendezvous historically were a cross-cultural event where once a year the natives of the area would meet with outsiders who were visiting the area and trade their furs that the natives would have trapped for products that they would have used to make their life better, or things that they would need. And so rendezvous lasted probably about 40 years back in the early 1800s, or late 1700s, early 1800s. It was a large social event. A rendezvous was a time that everybody could get together and find out what they needed to know. They've been in the wilderness for a year. Now they want to catch up on the news. They want to barter with friends and new acquaintances. It was really one time that the Native American and the European and the white Caucasian people got along and were compatible. And they both needed each other. The rendezvous we have in Albert Lea started in 1987. So this is our 26th event this year. We started at a state park, and Big Island Rendezvous had 46 participants the first time. The second year we tripled that, and we got like, wow, what's going to happen in the future? We better look for a better, not a better site, but a bigger site. And it took us 3 years additional to make the transition to a city park. Today, 26 years later, we have over 1,200 participants compared to the 43 we had the first year. So been a lot of growth, a lot of families are involved in the entire event as a participant.
I'm Robin Schmidt. I'm an owner of a clothing costume business, and I travel around at Rendezvous. In 1994, I was invited to a rendezvous by somebody by the name of Nobody who sells candy. He's a crazy character, and we went to see what one was like, and we totally fell in love with it. The daytime was fun, but once the candles were lit at nighttime and the fires were going, it was a whole different atmosphere, and we just, my daughters, my husband and I just fell in love with it, and we've been doing it ever since.
I'm portraying one of my great-grandfathers whose name was Ole Olesen, and they took the farm name when he came here to America. And so I chose him, and then I started researching our genealogy, and then I started reading Norwegian books. Then I went down to Decorah, Iowa, and did research down there. I went down there a couple times. And the program is constantly changing as I add new material, take some material out. So it's an evolving program.
One of my favorite reasons for doing this event is the fact that there's a group of people that like history so well and so much that they take their family and they camp primitive. They camp historically correct. They dress that way, they eat food, they cook over open fires, and it is really fascinating to me to watch this whole process.
It's certainly one of those things that I always take off work for. I'm always here. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, as a mother-daughter, you wouldn't find us off getting a manicure or something.
No,
we would rather come and do this.
To preserve history, we have to do something like this. When you bring children out here, like the last 2 days here at Big Island, we've had children from all over from different schools, and they come out here and they have no idea. You can read it in a textbook, but when you can see it in real life, it's like totally makes different sense to somebody. I know I learn better visually than I do sometimes reading, and I watch the kids and their eyes just go, wow. They've probably heard it 100 times, but until they see it and really realize that, wow, this is what it really was, it's amazing what it can do when you see something.
I love the idea of it progressing and moving forward, and children and other families learning true history. And that communication makes it so much easier now to get the word out that, you know, history is not boring. It's not a bunch of dates. History is social, how people existed and survive. And people have an interest in that. And so with this new communication we have through computers and internet, I think that the old things of history, our true founding fathers' legacy that they built, is actually going to come forward and be known by more people than what we could do 20 years ago. I think people come here because it's one chance during the year that they can escape in a good way. They can go home, back to the regular world, nothing wrong with that. But they can say, you know, boy, I should appreciate this house I own. I should appreciate this apartment I live in. I should appreciate this car I'm driving. Because if I was born 250 years ago, this wasn't there. It was a hard, hard life. Boy, am I glad I have what I have today. Am I glad that I have my family and can offer my family what I can give them now. We have a wonderful event because the public like it. We have a wonderful event because the participants like the public.
Funding for Off 90 is provided in part by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.